might look like it's just something you can read by yourself, but I just wanted to take this moment just to go with it step by step with you and yourself, so that those people who were actually in fear can actually see there's nothing to fear. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section below. And since now I think I'll be a bit free, I'll be able to do regular videos and answer all your questions. Subscribe to the channel, alright? So that every time I post the video, it can be a different time in your country, but you'll always be alerted, okay? Now, you also come up and try and see the work experience bit, which you guys really ask about. So as we had seen earlier, work experience needs to be a minimum of 2 years before you're considered for the scholarship. Okay, so how they define work is anywhere where it's full-time employment. That was your only sole job. That was what you were doing from 9 to 5. If you're working in a bank, if you are a doctor, you are doing that 9 to 5 job. 9 to 5, that's employment, full-time employment. If you're doing part-time employment, maybe you are studying and working at the same time, okay, they can consider that. Let's say you have like a part-time job doing something else and it's just maybe 20 hours. That's what a part-time job is considered. That is something they'll take into mind. Let's say after your university you volunteered somewhere. You'd volunteered your time, even if it was once per week, 1 day per week. That's something that also counts. Okay, if you had a paid or unpaid internship after your university, or even during your university, but just as long as the internship was not something that you had to fulfill so that you could graduate. You know, like for me, I had to do like a graduation, I had to do an internship at any media house so that I can be able to graduate while I was in the undergrad. So that does not count at all. All right, so this should be something that you have done. Maybe it's not in fulfillment of you getting a degree. It's something that you have just done either on your own. You just wanted to gain more experience. You know, if you are a lawyer and you did an unpaid or paid internship at a law firm, you know, those are things now you'll have to just include there. Okay, now something that they want is that if maybe you have worked in many places, you will see on the application bit that there's somewhere where you can list them all. So do not fear. So they tell you, if you have held more than 10 positions, then please enter the periods which make up the greatest numbers of hours. Okay, so let's say you worked between 2012 and 2016, that's 4 years, and then you worked somewhere else, maybe 2016, 2017, and then 2017 to 2018, and then 2018 to 2019. It is better that you put the one where you worked the longer. Okay, a position where you held longer. So it's very mandatory for you now to put the 4 years that you worked, the places where you worked longer. It actually just makes sense. It's self-explanatory. All right, okay. Then in the calculation of the hours, okay, your work experience, how they are able to calculate that is the number of hours that you work in a week should be between 35 to 60 hours. Normally, if it's 8 hours in a day and you work 5 times a week, that's 40 hours. Okay, so for them, how they're also putting it is because they also know that if you come maybe from third world countries or something of the sort, the 8 to 5 doesn't actually sometimes it's not adhered to. We work even longer. There are places where you work 7 all the way to 7 p.m. So if your week was 60 hours, then that's just it. We can't actually refute. But you have to be very careful. If you go overboard, it just looks unrealistic. Like as a human being, you can't work that long. It just looks like you're a robot. Okay, So for this calculation, a working week comprises 35 to 60 hours and a working year is 40 to 50 weeks. So the minimum number of hours an applicant must have before applying for a Chevening Scholarship. So when you're doing your calculation, when you're sitting down to remember all the places where you worked, for 2 years, the minimum should be 2,800 hours. So if you meet the minimum, of course you'll get the scholarship. If your hours are a lot, no one complains when you have more of something. So don't worry. Some of you are coming to my DM, you're telling me, if my hours are more than 2 years, is that okay? Is that bad? No. The more you have, the better even, okay? So if you don't meet this threshold, just think hard. Sometimes you even forget, maybe there's some internships you did, volunteer work you did. You can just try and bring it all together so that you actually meet this 2,800 hours. And this is a must because the computer system is the one which actually kicks you out. So if you don't pay attention to this, of course the computer will just kick you out from the get-go. All right? Okay.